Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a completely wild day in the entertainment world, and we have so much to unpack that it is actually mind-boggling. Grab your favorite snacks, get comfortable in your seat, and prepare yourselves because the tea is piping hot today. Let's just dive right into this absolute madness because we cannot hold it in for another second. Oh my God, I'm screaming. I was eating dinner and literally choked when this notification popped up on my phone. I had to pause and text my friend immediately because I just could not process what I was reading. Okay, but listen. You guys know Steve Burton, right? Our iconic legendary Jason from General Hospital. The man who has been on our screens forever playing the most stoic, unbothered, leather jacket wearing mob enforcer on daytime television. I mean, we have watched this man survive. Explosions, mob wars being frozen, and literally coming back from the dead multiple times on the show. He is the ultimate survivor in Port Charles. Well, his real life is actually, honestly, seriously more dramatic than any script the GH writers could ever come up with in a million years. I can't even deal right now. The level of drama happening off screen is completely unhinged. It's like, for you think you know a guy because you've watched him on your screen for decades and then bam? Real life hits you with a plot twist that makes the Cassadines look normal. Honestly, I am still shaking, just trying to type all of this out, because it is just so much information to process all at once. Oh wait, before that happened actually. We have to rewind to the origin story of this entire mess, because I feel like some people forget the absolute chaos of what went down a couple of years ago. Do you remember where you were when Cherie, his now ex-wife, posted that baby bump photo back in 2022? I was literally losing my mind. Everyone was congratulating them on social media thinking, oh, how sweet. Another beautiful baby for Steve and Cherie. They are expanding their family, and then Steve literally hopped on his Instagram stories and dropped the biggest bombshell of the century. He was like, actually, we are separated and that is not my child. My jaw dropped. I'm dead. I can't breathe just thinking about the sheer audacity of that entire situation. It was a cultural reset for the soap opera fandom, honestly. She has since welcomed at least one more child, which just adds another layer to this wild story. I forgot to mention earlier, but which is insane by the way, he officially filed for divorce like a month later. And honestly, who could blame him? After a public revelation like that, there is no going back. So they started navigating this divorce and they have 3 kids together. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, 2 of his 3 kids with his ex-wife are actually adults now. Thank goodness for that. Because they are completely out of this messy custody battle and can just live their adult lives without being dragged into court. But they share joint legal and physical custody of their youngest daughter, Brooklyn. And this is where the story goes from a regular messy divorce to a full-blown daytime drama. They have been butting heads for several years now over this custody arrangement, and it is so dramatic. Let's talk about the geography of it all, because this part makes me so incredibly mad. Steve actually relocated to Tennessee after his ex moved there. He packed up his life, left California, and moved to Tennessee just to be near his daughter, which is honestly such a good dad move. But then, and don't even get me started on that, she eventually returned to California. She moved back, and according to the reports, she wouldn't let their daughter visit her father. Why would she do that? I am literally yelling at my screen right now. You make the man move across the country to be near his kid, and then you move back and create all these barriers. At this point, I'm yelling at my screen because it is just so unfair to everyone involved, especially Brooklyn. So this brings us to the brand new TMZ drop that literally ruined my peaceful evening. Steve just filed new legal documents, and the wording in these documents is so intense. He is officially accusing his ex of creating scheduling obstacles specifically to prevent him from seeing his daughter. And he didn't just use mild language, he literally accused his ex of blatant parental alienation. I read that and I was like, are you serious? Parental alienation is such a heavy, serious legal term to throw around in family court. Mark my words, when lawyers start using phrases like that, the gloves are completely off. He claimed that Cherie refused to work with him to get their daughter to Tennessee to visit him. It is just so messy and sad. Okay, where was I? Right, so the new wife. I completely forgot to talk about Michelle. So after the heartbreaking divorce and all the drama of 2022, Steve actually found love again. He married Michelle Lundstrom in 2025. And Michelle has 3 kids of her own. So they were trying to do this whole beautiful blended family of 5 kids thing. It was supposed to be this amazing new chapter for him. Their dream of a blended family of 5 was so sweet, but it has officially hit a massive snag amid this ongoing custody battle. It's like they can't just be happy and blend their families in peace, because the past is constantly dragging them back into court. Speaking of his new life, Steve even took a break from the ABC soap earlier this year just to spend more time with his wife for their first anniversary, which is actually so incredibly romantic and sweet. Fans were literally panicking when Jason went off screen, thinking he was leaving the show again, but he just wanted to celebrate his marriage. He is expected to return to the show soon and was actually recently spotted on set, which is a huge relief for all of us GH fans. But imagine trying to learn your lines and film these intense mob storylines while your real life is literally falling apart in family court. The stress must be absolutely unimaginable. Okay, back to the court documents because there is more and it gets even worse. In his court filings, Steve claimed that his ex absolutely refuses to acknowledge Michelle's role as his wife. The absolute audacity. She won't acknowledge the new wife, and it gets pettier, he claims. She also refuses to acknowledge Michelle's daughters as Brooklyn's stepsisters. I literally can't with this. It is giving wicked ex-wife energy to the extreme. You cannot just pretend your ex-husband's new legal family does not exist. They are married. Those are her stepsisters. I am honestly so heated about this. I feel personally offended for Michelle and her daughters, who are just trying to welcome this girl into their family. And then, oh my God, this is the part that made me literally gasp out loud in my kitchen. Steve included actual text messages in the court filing. Yes, the receipts have been entered into the public record. He claims Cherie texted him literally saying, "I am not okay with Michelle picking Brooklyn up from school tomorrow. I'm dead. I have passed away from the sheer pettiness of it all. Why can't the stepmom pick the kid up from school? People do it literally every single day in every city across the world. It's just a school pickup." I had to read that sentence like 3 times to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. It is so unhinged to ban the stepmom from a simple school run. Of course, Sheree is fighting back against all of this because there are always 2 sides to a soap opera. She completely denied her ex-husband's accusations. She responded saying that she is actually super flexible about scheduling time for Steve to see their daughter, but only as long as it's in their daughter's best interests. Which, let's be real, is the most classic family court buzzword ever. Best interests can mean literally whatever you want it to mean. She also threw in this strict rule that she doesn't want her daughter away from home for longer than 3 weeks at a time. I mean, I guess 3 weeks is a long time for a kid to be away from their primary home, but also, so her dad lives in another state because of the crazy moving situation. What is he supposed to do, teleport? If he lives in Tennessee and she lives in California, the visits have to be extended to make the travel worth it. It is just basic logistics, honestly. She needs to get it together, I swear. You can't complain about the distance when you were the one to move back to California after he followed you to Tennessee. I am literally pulling my hair out trying to make sense of this logic. Honestly, figuring out a custody arrangement after a divorce is never easy. I completely get that. It is a highly emotional, highly stressful situation for everyone involved. But the hostility here is just next level. It literally feels like I'm watching an episode of General Hospital, but with real people. And I get mad at characters like they're real, but these are real people. That's the craziest part. Brooklyn is a real kid caught in the middle of this absolute circus. It breaks my heart seriously. The adults need to put their egos aside and figure this out, because the only one getting hurt in the crossfire is their daughter. It is so easy for us fans to sit back and eat our popcorn while reading TMZ articles, treating it like it's just another storyline for Sweeps Week. But this is a real family falling apart in the public eye, and that is just genuinely tragic when you stop and think about it. I'm calling it now. This is going to end badly. Once lawyers start throwing around phrases like blatant parental alienation and entering private text messages about school pickups into the public court record, there is absolutely no going back to friendly co-parenting. The gloves are permanently off. Mark my words. We're going to see more TMZ drops, more leaked documents, and probably a whole lot of dramatic tension. It is going to be a long, dramatic summer both on-screen in Port Charles and off-screen in the Burton family court saga. I seriously don't know if my heart can take much more of this. Let me just circle back and make sure I didn't miss anything. The 2022 baby bump disaster, the clarification, the divorce, the 2 adult kids, the custody battle over Brooklyn, the move to Tennessee, the move back to California, the new wife Michelle, the dream of the blended family of 5. The GH anniversary break, the parental alienation claims, the stepsister denial, the school pickup text message, and the 3-week rule defense. Yeah, I think that is the entire wild timeline. I am honestly exhausted just recapping it all for you guys. My heart rate is literally elevated right now. I need to go finish my dinner that got totally derailed by this news. Stay tuned. Because this story is far from over. I will literally be refreshing my feed every single hour waiting for the next update. Because I am way too emotionally invested in this at this point. I need to know how the judge rules on this. And I need to know if Michelle ever gets to do that school pickup. Okay? I am seriously logging off now before I go down another rabbit hole. Bye.